right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your new favorite show on Twitch, YouTube, and all that good stuff, the Golden Shoe. We're going to be talking about soccer. We're going to be talking about the number one sport in the world, even though the Super Bowl was last week. And then I have two great friends. We're going to start by presenting ourselves. So, my name is Felipe Ramis, also known as Muchi. So, hopefully, we're going to be here sharing a lot of good ideas and all that good stuff, and then a lot of like soccer talk, right? Right next to me is Steven Gutierrez. I'm going to let him introduce himself. Go ahead, Guti.
Good afternoon. You know, first off, like Muchi said, Steven Gutierrez, known as Guti. Happy to join you guys and talking in what we love. So let's get right to it.
All right,
Wait,
and
hold
then
on.
we
He said
have.
good afternoon. What time is it?
So where
It's
I'm at is 7.
Now it's
it's
dark over here. Well, good night for everybody. I'm here in Miami, well, South Florida. My name is Felipe Rios, aka Rio Senior.
Rio Senior. Guti, we know this man for like 20 years. When has he ever been Rio Senior, bro?
Hey man.
Hey, ever since I started playing the 5v5 league, dog,
All
I
right, yo
lead the league in
boys.
assist.
Oh man, you're leading goal and assist.
No, lead and assist, dog.
You're the leading and assist of the whole league.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah, you're playing with scrubs. Yeah. All right.
Oh man.
All right, yo, boys, we're here to talk about
Uh,
what's going on in the world. We might be starting this show a little late into the season, but I mean, Champions League just started, so I feel like it's never late to start something new, a new show. So we already have 10 people watching us, so that's pretty cool. So if you guys want to comment, say anything you guys want, you guys are more than welcome. I'll put it here and read, and then all that good stuff. So guys, tomorrow, right? So Champions League started last week. We had PSG against Bayern Munich, which was I think we should start with that one. Let's just get that one out of the way before we talk about Madrid and Liverpool tomorrow, which are the key matches. So PSG and Bayern Munich, right? So they played in Paris. Bayern Munich took the lead 1-0 again by the same person who scored the goal in the final in 2020, who is from the PSG academy, surprisingly, right? Like, we know PSG is this team that buys all these excellent players, and they lost the Champions League final against someone that came out from their home. So guys, what do we feel about that 1-0 at away for Bayern Munich? Do you guys feel like it's done for PSG?
I don't think so. I don't know why a lot of people are panicking. A lot of people that I follow on TikTok are counting PSG out. It's only 1-0, and I know they lost in France, but PSG has a heck of a team. Can't forget that they have the best player in history on their team. Can't count them out.
Ooh. Who Cristiano is on the team?
Don't say
we
that.
know, we know, we
Don't
know,
say
we
that,
know.
bro.
We know Guti felt some type of way.
He's
Hey,
turning the
no,
same color as his jersey.
we know Guti is a huge Portugal fan. We're not gonna say we're not gonna say which club he supports because but he's a huge Portugal fan. I remember spanking him in FIFA with Portugal. You know,
no,
we
that
had
was
those great games.
no.
But Guti, how do you feel? Do you think that PSG is out? We know that in the first leg, Mbappe was in the bench,
He
but
was.
Neymar just got hurt. Like, he
And
twisted
exactly. And then that's
he
what I
he
think that's what a
twisted
lot
his
of
ankle.
people.
So
Yeah, he's probably not gonna make it. And if he
he's
does,
out
he's
for a
not gonna be
month.
100. Yeah, he's not gonna
He's out
be.
for a
Yeah,
month.
I mean, he might try to play because that's just how he is. But I think that's why a lot of people are counting them out already, just to the fact losing him. That's a big loss. And it kind of seemed one-sided at the beginning when Bayern was taking control of the game. But it's definitely a great result now that Benjamin Pavard also is out. He got that. He saw that red.
That's
So
true. Yeah.
that's a big result away from home for sure. And I do see this one being over. I think ultimately Bayern advances by the same score, 1-0 in
So
So,
Germany.
so you do
question: Do
see
you?
PSG
Oh,
out? Oh,
I
my
do.
bad, Rio. Sorry. Go ahead,
no, you
Felipe.
good.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask that. Like, who do you guys see? Which team has more depth, PSG or Munich?
Oh, without a doubt, Bayern Munich has a way better team.
And also, I think
Without
Sadio
a doubt.
Mane might play. He might be back. I saw he's back in
Oh, you know
training.
what? I didn't
So
even
He
have
was
that in
training.
mind. I didn't
yeah,
even
so
have
he
that in
did, and
mind.
he
Like,
didn't play, and he didn't play the first leg. So he's gonna be huge to them if he can go even 80-90% for sure.
I didn't even remember that,
So
dude. Bayern Munich has so many options, especially at the top, that I didn't even, I didn't even think. I don't know why it didn't even cross my mind that Manet was out. He didn't even play the first game. That's crazy. They
Yeah,
kept
he's been
Mueller.
out for
They
a
kept
while.
players like Mueller in the bench. They had like
yep, I
two
think
or three.
Alfonso Davies started on the bench too, and he came in at the start of the second half. So it's
Right.
just it's just
Cancelo
crazy
started,
team.
right?
It's just a crazy team to
I mean,
depth
I got money
wise.
on Munich, but you can't count out PSG still.
Yeah, you
You
can't
never
count
know
them
what can
out.
happen. Hey,
What we
PSG
do,
just needs one goal.
right? Because the away goal rule is non-existent anymore. So,
Exactly.
uh, I personally, I feel that if Mbappe and Messi has their game, it's tough, dude. Like we're talking about maybe top one and top two players in the world as we speak. I mean, I'm gonna ask you guys a question a little later, but Mbappe is probably the best player in the world right now. Like he just scored 8 goals at the World Cup. Like, and then he had a little injury setback. We understand it happens. Injuries, like they come and go. But as soon as he stepped in the game for the last 30 minutes, he did change a lot of the tempo for PSG, and Bayern Munich was pretty complete when that happened. Like they had if I'm not mistaken, their defensive line was the starters. They had Alfonso Davis, who came in for Cancelo, right?
Yeah.
And then they had
The
they
light
had they had the light. They had Upamecano, who was amazing at the World
He
Cup as well.
was.
And
and Pavard.
Bayer and Pavar on the right. Pavar, he is gonna leave for free in the summer, but he is one of the best right backs. I mean, he has to be top 10 to top 15 at tops. So
Who do you guys think is gonna replace Neymar for this game?
that's a good question. That and that's when we come to like realize that like PSG brought the two Spaniards. They brought Fabian and they
Yep.
brought
Reese, yep.
shoot, what's his name? He was the captain of Valencia last year, the Spaniard. What's his name? Shoot, I'm forgetting his name right now. He just joined PSG,
Soler.
and there you go. And Carlos Soler. So they just came in, but they let Di Maria go. So when you think about it, it's like they let Di Maria go, and it's like Di Maria just had a great World Cup as well. So it's like Di Maria would have been perfect to fit in for Neymar, like without a doubt. Well, my opinion, I don't know how you guys feel.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
Rios, to answer your question, I'm not sure, man. I mean, I would put
You-
Vitinha, I would try Verratti, and not in that position, but maybe PSG should go with a line of 4 instead of 3 forwards, because I don't really think anybody can really replace Neymar.
You want to know a quick fun fact?
Yeah.
PSG before the substitutions, I think they only had 2 shots on target or on goal. After the sub, where they brought in Mbappe and the rest of the changes, they had 7. So before the changes, it was 11-2, and then after the changes, it was 7-7. So I think Mbappe can carry a lot of weight on his shoulders.
Yeah, no doubt.
So,
And then
but I still got
sure,
money on
for
Munich.
sure.
I think it's gonna be a great game. You can't count out PSG.
It is.
But
For
It's
sure.
gonna be
if
close
I had
again
to
for
bet,
sure.
I'm gonna give it to Munich for sure.
For
Just
sure.
their
Well,
depth, bro. Their depth is crazy.
Yeah,
and
it
this game isn't next week. This game is the week after.
Yeah.
So if we go by the results of this past weekend, Bayern Munich lost, and PSG won 4-3 in the last minute with a Messi free kick after Mbappe scored 2. Well, I think PSG was up 2-0 or 3-0,
Yeah, they
and
were
then and Leo tied. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think PSG defensively, even though they do have I'm gonna say a pretty good Sergio Ramos again. I don't want to
he's
say
getting
I
into
don't
form
yeah,
little
like
by
I don't
little.
yeah, I don't want to say that he's at his best anymore. Obviously, I feel like his prime is already passed. But it's a good Sergio Ramos, and then Marquinhos, dude, I think Marquinhos is a little overrated. Like he just doesn't finish exploding, but that's another conversation. So as of right now, I mean, we're gonna have a few more shows before this next game. But as of right now, you guys see PSG or Bayern qualifying? I'm gonna put my little coin on PSG, because I feel like they got 2 of the best 3 players in the world, so they have to make a difference in this type of games. I don't know how you guys feel.
No, I
Go ahead,
agree
Guti.
for sure. It's gonna be tough. I think it's gonna be a grinded out game again. I'd see it going scoreless with Bayern advancing, but if I had to give an edge to one of the two, I'd give it to Bayern 1-0 again. Um, Ultimately
Guti
qualifying.
scoreless with so many forwards that they have, dude.
They
All
play very
right.
well
That's tough.
defensively, and the goalkeepers are pretty good. Donnarumma and even Bayern with that great pickup of Sommer.
That
With Neuer
was
being injured,
good.
that was a huge, huge
Bro,
pickup for
Bayern
them.
Munich picked up in the winter, summer, and Joao Cancelo.
Yeah,
That was
Like
a
to
they
steal,
picked
already
bro.
to an already
That
stacked
was a
team, so
steal.
it's just
to our
crazy.
exactly like they picked up a top 10 goalie, maybe. Well, Guti, you would know more about keepers. Like,
No, Summer is he's really good. He's
maybe a
really good.
top 10, maybe a top 10 goalkeeper, and they definitely picked up a top five right back.
He's a do-it-all kind of guy,
Like,
honestly.
you
So
know.
you could play him anywhere, and he can make a
Versatile.
difference. Yeah.
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 How about you, Rios? Who you put in your coin? I mean, still 2 more weeks, but you know.
It's I'm a huge Messi fan. It would be sad to see him, exit out so early. My heart is saying PSG, but I'm gonna go with my brain, and my brain is telling me Munich.
All right,
So
all
I
right.
think Munich.
That's
It's gonna be a great
respectable.
game. I don't think it's gonna be scoreless. It's gonna be crazy. Maybe like a 3-2, two
So
one.
you see something more open than like the score line.
Yes, for sure.
Well,
For sure.
I
PSG has.
do feel that PSG has to go for the
Oh,
game.
of
So
course. Yeah, they definitely. Yeah, they have to. They're definitely gonna push up their wing backs, push up lines. They're gonna be aggressive, and that's gonna leave them vulnerable in the counterattack. So I could
Mhm.
see it.
all right, cool. So gentlemen, the game that we have tomorrow, Real Madrid against Liverpool. So we're talking about the two clubs that have the most Champions Leagues in history. Real Madrid with 14, if I'm not mistaken, and then we have Liverpool with seven, right? Yeah, seven. So Liverpool, we know they've been doing kind of bad in the Premier League.
Yeah.
They haven't been very well, but they won their last 3 games, and they got Van Dijk back. Well, Diaz is not gonna make it for tomorrow, but Van Dijk is back. Darwin Nunez is starting to score and be important again, but.
Effective, yes.
But we know
Effective.
that. Do you guys feel like Darwin Nunez is being or was very like overrated? We know the price was insane. I mean, 100 million for Darwin Nunez
Yeah.
is crazy.
That's just the market, though. Got to think about the market nowadays is crazy, but I don't think he's been living up to the price they paid
No,
for him just yet. But he's starting to kind of fit into their system, and they're trying to work to his strong suits, which is, you know, that tap in score. So, he's looking better now.
A little part of
overrated.
go
Go
Rios, my
ahead.
bad, go
No,
no
go
go
ahead.
go no,
No, but
it's
I,
just
I,
that
I wouldn't
go
think
my bad.
overrated. I think overpriced. But I think he's slowly coming around. Especially, you have to keep in count and keep in mind that Liverpool has had how many injuries,
Yeah, they
and
Yeah.
they're
always do. Yeah,
slowly getting back, slowly getting better. Klopp has been playing a lot of youth, a lot of academy players, and like you said, they're on a roll right now. 3 games, right? Who they
yeah,
beat
three
last? It was a
games.
good game. It was a good team that they beat the other
I'm a,
day. Who did
I'm
they
a,
beat in the Premier
Well, they
League?
just beat Newcastle, which is they're in
Newcastle.
a
There you
pretty
go.
good,
Newcastle.
yeah,
yeah,
and,
Exactly.
and away too. So
yeah, and it was
And
an away
it
game.
was through, was it 3-0?
they won
Two, yeah,
2-0,
2-0.
2-0,
So
2-0
this
against
2-0.
was
Newcastle.
this was the lineup that Klopp used in his last game, which I think is gonna be the starting lineup for tomorrow
Same.
against Real Madrid. They have Alisson in the goal. Then they got
Mm-hmm.
Trent Alexander-Arnold on the right. Then the two center backs are Joe Gomez and Virgil van Dijk. And then on the left, Andy Robertson. I mean, it's the same defense of the past 5 years,
Yeah.
4 years. Well, respecting Matip that came in and did well. And then in the midfield, he went with Fabinho, Henderson, and then he played the Spaniard Bacetic,
Yo, he's a baller.
and he's real good. He is
He's a
really,
baller.
really good. He really is. They need to call him up quick. And then and then in the forward line, they had Mohamed Salah, who has had a very weird season as well. He's been very off, you know.
Yep.
And then Darwin Nunez as a 9, and then we have on the other wing they have Cody Gakpo, which they just picked up. He had a great World Cup. He did
He's
great
been
with
scoring.
PSB. Yeah, he did great with PSB in the first half of the season. But then you look at Liverpool's bench, and you have Firmino that came in. They had Harvey Elliott, James Milner, who's incredibly still playing like, top notch, and then Diogo Jota for Gappo.
Gakpo.
Yep. And then the rest of the kids that go in, well, they got Naby Keita, which they barely used, and they got Matip in the bench. Liverpool did a terrible job in the market. They did not prepare themselves properly.
No,
And then you see Darwin Nunez, and then you compare him to Erling Haaland, and it's like, whoa, like, these two came into the Premier League as top scorers of their league. Well, Haaland had Lewandowski, so obviously, in the Bundesliga, that was going to be tough, but you guys know what I mean. And then we have Haaland breaking records of goals, and then you have Darwin Nunez, who barely has 5 goals, So I don't know. I don't know if it was more difficult to be part of clubs rock and roll or Guardiola's tiki taka, dude. Like, like if anything, Haaland is more counter cultural than Darwin Nunez. So
right. So what you saying? You got money on Madrid?
I see. The only thing I do see for tomorrow, I do see Darwin Nunez scoring a goal though. I do see it. Real Madrid has been conceding a lot of goals.
They have been.
Their defense has not been well. I'm not sure if Carvajal is ready to come back. Guti, by any chance, do we know what kind of lineup for tomorrow they might have?
I think Carvajal will play ultimately. Probably
You think he's gonna
Rudiger.
start?
I don't. It's like, who do you play there if you don't play him? They're kind of short, kind of thin in
Nacho?
the back line. I don't trust Nacho going up against kind of like Salah too much, or even Gakpo. That's a disadvantage for Madrid. So I think Carvajal will start ultimately. I do see Militao, Rudiger, maybe Alaba playing in the back.
Well,
I see that
I'll
too.
say this. I think if Nacho does plan it right, he's gonna get. Is Valverde playing?
I think yes, he should.
So
He's
this
gonna
is
get a lot of
him
help from
starting.
Valverde.
So these
Yeah.
are the
Valverde
injuries.
can,
These are the injuries that Madrid has for tomorrow, right? So Ferland Mendy, he's out with a thigh injury until late February. He didn't make it into this game. Then you have Tchouaméni and Kroos. They have the flu. Like they're missing this big game because of the flu. Like,
Yeah.
Must
well,
be bad.
they might wake up tomorrow and play. But as of right now, like they have the flu. And then they have Mariano Diaz, but they barely use Mariano Diaz.
Yeah, he's like an
So
emergency player.
so the midfield potentially would be what? Modric, Camavinga, and Valverde.
I see that. I see maybe he's kind of been leaning more towards Ceballos lately.
So I just
So
yeah.
maybe Ceballos instead of Camavinga. Depending on how he wants to play on the left back, maybe Camavinga drops to the left back.
I
Um,
think so.
but I think Valverde, like Rios mentioned, he's gonna have to track back a lot to help Nacho if he does eventually end up starting.
So you guys see more of a 4-4-2 maybe than with Bini and Benzema up top and
I,
no Asensio, Rodrigo.
Yeah,
I
I think a 4-4-2 defensively, kind
just to
of
see
like
how
a
it comes
back line
out.
of 5. Yeah.
Just to see how Liverpool comes
Where are
out.
they
They're at
playing
home.
again?
They're playing in Liverpool, so
They're
I
playing in
think
Anfield, yeah. That's gonna be
I think
it's tough, and we're talking about a historic game. Like we're talking about the two teams with the most Champions Leagues in history. What I don't like is that, well, this might be my first ever take here on the Golden Shoe. I feel that Rodrigo is better than Vinicius. To me, Rodrigo is more he's more clutch than Vini. That's
he's.
to
I guess the best way to put Rodrigo compared to Vinny is he's more direct. He's more go down, straight
maybe
runner.
maybe a big game player, Rodri. I don't know.
He has a
uh
big, yeah. I mean,
I mean,
you
Rodrigo saved Madrid in two
he
of the
does.
four
He's
coming off
like
the
that.
bench.
eliminations of last
Coming
Champions
off the
League field.
bench.
So
I would say Vinny's more dynamic, but Rodrigo's just more crafty and he finds himself in spots to put the ball away.
I agree. I
Can we
agree.
say he's more clutch? That's tough because Vinny has
Yeah.
come clutch plenty of times. They're both great. I'll give still the edge to Vinny.
Champions League wise, I just remember
Oh,
one Vinicius clutch moment which was
The Man City?
Against Man City.
Yeah,
But
And then
bro,
the game winning goal. No,
yeah, he won
right, but
the.
that was a tap in the final. Come on, we could have all
Hey,
scored that.
that's still a clutch goal though. You got to make it. You know,
still clutch.
You have Darwin Nunez missing the same
You
Missing
shot
you guys
tackle.
consider
every
that
game.
clutch
So
though? Like when was the goal, Guti? Like the 30th minute?
no,
No,
wasn't
second
it?
half. No,
Yeah,
That's
it
true.
was.
That's true. Second half, like maybe 60th
yeah,
minute, 70.
I think
I,
around the minute
I don't
70,
know how
somewhere around
clutch.
there.
I don't. Maybe we have. Maybe I have the wrong definition of clutch. But Rodrigo saved Chelsea against Chelsea. He saved
Man City. No,
against Man City as well. Like I don't know. To me in this game, but I don't know. Maybe that's just
so you
what
think?
Ancelotti likes. Like he likes putting him in front of the bench and
Maybe that's a
make
Well,
question
magic
for the
happen.
people in the comments too. Maybe a question for the
yeah,
people in the
There you
comments.
go. There you go.
you
Who
can
they
consider kind of like if this is basketball terms, you can say Rodrigo's like a six man super sub.
yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like me seeing Ceballos, and I'm gonna put it this way, even though they're different, because Camavinga can play in the midfield, of course, which is his natural position, and he's been playing in the left back as well. But me seeing Camavinga, Ceballos, or Asensio on top of Rodrigo is mind blowing to me. I mean, to me, Rodrigo he should start already, but he's still young. I get it, but I don't know. So
Yeah,
go ahead?
I think he's a starter, but I think how Ancelotti kind of the way he runs his tactics, I think if the game goes not how he expects it, he has someone on the bench that can
Yeah, that change it around for him.
respond
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
Yep.
100%, 100%.
Which is
So
So
who
who
do
you got
you
money on?
is Anfield, right? So
It gets crazy.
well, we know the Premier League teams, especially Liverpool, like they're very vertical when they attack. They love, just going forward as well. We know what club likes doing as well, which is the high press and all that good stuff. If the game plays itself in the midfield, Real Madrid is taking it because there's no Thiago. Fabinho is not having a good season, and I mean, I think Henderson is really overrated. I mean, for me to like
Yeah, I
Henderson,
agree.
Henderson to be the captain of Liverpool in England is freaking mind blowing. Like, what is he doing? I don't know
yeah.
about
I
y'all, but
I think the only way Liverpool can come out and get a result against Real Madrid is they have to press and Jordan Henderson, Fabinho destroy, like not even there to build, to destroy Real Madrid's game and quickly counter with Nunez, Gakpo, and Salah.
I
Like
think
you said,
that
if it's in the midfield, I think it's Madrid all day.
yeah. And I'm gonna put it this way: if Liverpool doesn't win by a goal, Real Madrid is taking it by a few goals. That's just how I see it tomorrow. But I do see a Darwin Nunez goal. I don't know why. I just have that.
He creates chances. Like he gets himself.
Yeah, he
He gets
does.
himself in positions. He
He
just can't.
does. I don't
I think
know.
he's bad
So,
luck,
but
bro.
he can't be a Timo Werner though. Like he's gonna get kicked out of Liverpool, and they paid a bunch of money for him. So who do you have your money on, Rios?
I mean, I want Madrid to win, but I think it's going to be a 1-1 tomorrow. There's going to be a
Okay.
draw, and then I think Madrid will take it in Madrid.
All right. How about you, Guti? Where you
I
stand in
agree.
this?
I agree. I had I have it's 1-1, maybe leaning towards 2-1 Madrid. I think Madrid ultimately wins the midfield battle, but I see it going 1-1 and then, Madrid taking care of business at home. So,
I feel like it's gonna be more open though. Madrid. I mean, Rudiger dude. He's having a terrible season. Like the Rudiger that supposedly came for free, but they paid like 40 million. That came into Madrid being a great center back. He's not. He's not showing it. Militao had a great first 6-7 months of the year, and then
yep.
went down. His World Cup was okay too, yo. So I don't know. And then Valverde's on the pickup. We know that he went through some personal problems with with his wife being pregnant. They thought they were gonna lose the baby. Thank God everything is okay. And then after they told him the baby was gonna be okay, he scored 3 goals in 2 games. He scored the 2 goals in the final as well of the World Cup. Well, of the Club World Cup. So obviously we know that soccer is a mental game too.
It is.
Oh, for sure.
So it's a feeling. If you're feeling good that day. I mean, that's why I have my feeling about that PSG game. If Messi and Mbappe wake up on the right foot, Bayern's gonna
I
have
agree.
issues. So
What do you
guys,
think?
oh yeah, we're missing. Oh no, we already talked, right? Everybody said
You
their
said
input.
who? Yeah, we said. I said Ty. What'd you say?
I want to say that it's gonna be a tie, but I do see Liverpool's offense making Real Madrid back suffer a lot. Like Madrid is suffering with a lot of like middle table teams in La Liga, which is not being a competitive league this year.
I
So
would say two. I think Trent being the creator coming out from the back, definitely gonna give some issues for Madrid's back line.
we'll see. We'll
So
see. I
I
mean,
could
I
see
agree
it.
Yeah.
with you. We're gonna see Trent, and we're also gonna see Beanie against Trent. Like if
Oh,
Beanie also if Beanie has his game against Trent, Trent is
you have
gonna get
to.
sucked in the 30th minute. Like he's gonna get
Well,
taken out.
think about it too. The back line Gomez also been
Mhm.
struggling. He hasn't haven't been having a good season.
Oh, absolutely. And
So it
Van
could go
Dijk
back. It could go back and forth. Yeah, like you said, it's gonna be back and forth. I
and
agree.
Van Dijk just came back from injury two
From
weeks ago.
injury.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. Guys, we just saw Barca against Manchester United at the new camp. We saw a 2-2, a draw where Barcelona and Man United both historic clubs under construction. Let's just call them that, under construction, because they're both exactly doing that. They're both under construction. We have Xavi and Ten Hag, which are managers that kind of have the same the same idea of of what they like about about soccer and stuff. And we're gonna see what happens at Old Trafford. But I do have a question for you guys, because we saw Marcus Rashford and we see how great he's been doing in the Premier
Yeah.
League this year. Well, especially since this year started. Do you guys think I heard this take today and I was like, I'm gonna ask the guys in the show. Do you guys think that Rashford is the best player in the world right now? Could he be a top three? No,
Um,
no
I
one,
wouldn't
Now
put him.
this
I wouldn't say
season or
top
like right
three.
now?
no, like today, like the most informed player in the world right now. Like, do you guys feel is Marcus Rashford? To me,
Mm,
I'm just gonna go quickly with my take. I think that he is the most informed player in the world right now.
Yeah,
Like
he is.
that's
He
my
is.
stake. That no one has scored more goals than him since the year 2023 started. No one
Yep.
has scored more goals than him.
He
So if we
single
go,
handedly brought Manchester United back into the title race just in the
there you
past
go.
few months. So I think I would agree with your take that he is the most informed player right now for sure.
And we're talking about comparing him to Mbappe, and well, he picked up a quick injury for 3 weeks, but we know what Mbappe is capable of. And we see Messi, who finally is catching a few more goals again after winning the World Cup and stuff. I don't know. Do you? We're supposed to be talking about the Barca Man United game, but I mean, we're gonna have a show. Well, it's Monday, so I don't know when our next show is. But we're gonna talk about it probably Thursday night. But so we're gonna be talking about who already is eliminated. So let me just ask you guys this question quickly, because they tied 2-2. Do you guys think if Barcelona loses and gets eliminated by this Manchester United, do you guys think that it's a disaster for Barcelona if they get eliminated?
I don't think it would be a disaster just due to the fact that Manchester United is one of the favorites to take the cup as well. So, it's kind of like a final preview, if you will, because, these are two of the best teams in the Europa League currently. So I wouldn't say it's a total disaster, especially how their Barca's doing in La Liga. They've been great form all year. Um, and of course, it would be kind of tough to beat Man U without Gavi and Pedri. You got to remember they're going to both be out in the second leg. So I wouldn't say it's a complete disaster.
That's
yeah, I
true,
agree
but
with
so
Buki.
Barcelona is gonna go with Sergio Busquets, who just came back from a 3 week injury. So Busquets coming back. No Gabi because of cards. No Pedri because of an injury. He's gonna miss 6 weeks. So where he's gonna even miss the Clásicos against Real Madrid in the cup. So Barcelona's winning percentage without Pedri is 68%. With him is 96%. We're talking about this season.
Wow.
We're talking about
How
so Pedri missed
how did
games
you
against
feel?
Bayern, against Inter, teams that took Barcelona out of the Champions League, and there was no Pedri.
Who replaced Pedri? Was it Sergio Roberto?
Sergio Roberto, which
How do you
he did
think he?
well.
I think that exactly. I thought he did
Yeah,
pretty well, and the game could have gone either way. Honestly, the
I
game
feel
could
so.
have.
Yeah, I feel so too. I think there were moments in the game, like the first 15 minutes were Man U, and then
Yeah, a lot of
Barcelona
back and
played a
forth.
good 30, first half, and then Barcelona started good, scored a goal, and Man U quickly bounced back, and they controlled the game for the next 20. But Manchester United suffered a lot the last 25 minutes of that game. So like you guys say, it could have gone either way.
Credit to the hair, bro.
And they had stopped
Agree.
that Ansu Fati shot like right in.
Oof.
Yeah, that was.
He's another guy that's slowly kind of picking up into form. Especially missing the World Cup. I'm pretty sure that was a big emotional blow for him, but he's kind of
True.
reacting, to the downside of that and performing really
Remember,
well.
he was
So
struggling too in the beginning of the year. So yeah,
yeah,
like I agree with you. He's slowly picking up. He's been coming up big for Man U as well in the Premier League. So Man U's
Who
gonna be
do,
tough to beat.
I think so apparently Lisandro Martinez is gonna be back for Manchester United though. So Luke
yeah,
Shaw could probably go back to the left back, and then
yep.
it's gonna be Lisandro and Baran, and then Wan-Bissaka. Xavi has to attack Wan-Bissaka's side, dude. Like he has to
Is he gonna
fully
be
attack.
playing or is it
I
gonna
think
be
it'll be
Dalot?
Dalot. I think Dalot. I think I would go with
Dalot.
Dalot.
But
I
Dalot was
thought
in the
Dalot.
bench. Dalot was in the bench,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Last game.
I
He was, yeah, he was. But
in
they
the
had a lot
Champions
of they
League.
had
Yeah.
a back to back. I think they played Leeds, and then
He played against Leicester
in
the other
Leicester.
day,
Yes,
so I
so
think he should be the starter. I would go with Dalot. Wan-Bissaka
Dalot.
almost gave up that goal. Who was it against? I don't remember. It was like a ball switched to Wan-Bissaka, and Wan-Bissaka took a
Oh
terrible
yeah,
touch.
of course. It was like a counter attack after Wan-Bissaka missed the ball, lost the ball.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I would,
So
yeah.
another thing to keep in mind is that Dembele might be back for Barcelona. They're gonna find out
Yep.
on Wednesday if he can play. But today he didn't train with the team. But we know how Dembele is too. If he wakes up, on the right side, we're in for a game. We're in for a game. So since this game is on Thursday and our next show will probably be that night, who do you guys got? Who do you guys got in Old Trafford? Like, what are you guys feeling?
Oof, that's
That's
tough.
yeah, it is tough.
Barcelona, if Barcelona gets eliminated by Manchester United, I think it's gonna be a huge blow. But based on Barcelona's reconstruction, I think Xavi's main ideas is La Liga and the Kings Cup and La Copa del Rey. I think those are Xavi's like main things. But you're getting kicked out by Manchester United and you want to compete in Europe again. So I think it is gonna be a big blow. But if Manchester United loses, I don't think it really matters for Ten Hag. I don't, they went into this season without Ten Hag in the Europa League and getting kicked out by Barcelona. I don't think it's a big blow. I don't. If it was like Wolfsburg or Seville, one of those teams that are always fighters but they're not favorites, it'll be different. But I think against Barcelona, Ten Hag's position obviously is in no. Xavi's either. I mean, if they lose this game, I don't think any of them are in trouble.
I think there's less pressure on Man United,
Yes,
so
for
there's
sure.
no expectations.
One
Really
hundred percent, I agree too.
Yep.
I agree too.
So
Even on top of what I said about the reconstructions, Barcelona has definitely more pressure than Manchester United for sure.
for sure.
So what do you guys think?
I think Man United has a slight advantage. The fact they're at
I
home.
think so too.
I think Bruno Fernandes is also another player that's been picking it up in that midfield for them. So I say 2-1 Man United.
I'll say. Wait, you talking about aggregate?
No, this game, the game
Oh, this
Thursday in
game.
Old Trafford.
Yeah.
I think I see a 2-1. It's kind of very back and forth, kind of like the first leg as well.
Yeah, they tied 2-2. So whatever score is for the winner, that's it. They're taking the game.
So Muchi, how do you feel about Barca away?
So they haven't had great, away scores in the past, in Europe. But
Mhm.
I think it's the moment for Lewandowski to show up. Like this is the game. Like yeah, it's nice that you're scoring against Valencia and
Valencia.
Villarreal and
Mhm.
these teams that they're putting you on top of La Liga. This is fantastic, Lewandowski. Barcelona expected this from you. He did show up in the Champions League for Barcelona, though. I think he was top scorer of the group stage. No, maybe it was a Napoli player because Napoli has been, crazy.
Napoli has
On
been really
fire.
good. They're running away
But
with the city, yeah, for sure.
but Lewandowski showed up for Barcelona. I mean, I think in 6 games he scored like 6 goals. I think it was something like that for Lewandowski. But he didn't show up in the first game against United, and he was trying too much. I feel like he was maybe a little anxious. And we're talking about anxious about a 34-year-old. Like, this guy is a superstar, and we're still
Right.
talking about, him trying to like prove himself a little too much, which I think he needs to, maybe bring it down a notch. But he scored
Right.
last weekend, finally, again, after 2 weeks without scoring. So if Lewandowski shows up, this is Lewandowski. This is Barcelona superstar, Lewandowski. They paid 40 million for a 33-year-old, So if Lewandowski shows up, I think Barcelona has a big chance of qualifying to the next round. That's my take.
I'm like, since Barca has a history of not playing well as away in European competition, Ten Hag has done phenomenal with Man U. We can say that he has exceeded expectations. I'm gonna give a slight edge to Man U. I'm gonna say I don't see nothing crazy like a 3-2. I'll say 1-0 Man U.
1-0 Man U. All right, cool,
Yeah.
cool. If we go by percentages, I think it will be 50, maybe 55-45 for Man U. Just that little advantage. I do see Man United with a slight advantage, just with what you said, Rios.
Mhm.
But yeah. All right, guys. So our last part of the show is gonna be the World 11. As you guys know, the best trophies, they're around the corner. The last day to vote is on Friday. So we know. 1 second. Okay. Don't worry. You're good. With 4%, you're good. All right. So like I was saying, so the best trophies are around the corner, right? So I'm just gonna make you guys, quickly, like not quickly, but just like kind of like keep in mind, right? So the best trophies are, I'm gonna tell you guys from 1 month to 1 month real quick. I have it right here. 1 second. Sorry, guys. Wait, that's not it. My bad, guys. Hold up. I'm gonna add it right here, right? We all see it.
Yeah.
All right, so we all see the World 11, which is the FIFA Pro, which are this trophy is the best by FIFA. We know the FIFA and the Ballon d'Or got separated, right? So the best trophies are from August of last
Of
year.
2021. Isn't it 2021 August?
Yep, I have it right here. So they are from August 8th, 2021 to
Yeah, that's a long.
December 18th, 2022. So we're talking about a year and 4 months.
Yeah.
So the Champions League is included, the one that Real Madrid won. The World Cup is included. All the Super Cups are included. And that's pretty much it. Everything else obviously is included, the leagues and all that good stuff. So the men's finalists were Benzema, Messi, and Mbappe. So this is what Benzema won. Benzema won the Champions League, La Liga, the Nations League with France. He won the Ballon d'Or 2021. He won the UEFA Player of the Year. He won UEFA Champions League top scorer, and he won La Liga top scorer. Amazing year for Benzema. This is definitely his prime, or we saw his prime. That's what I mean. So for Messi, he won the World Cup. He won the Finalissima. He won the Ligue 1. He won the French Super Cup, and he won the World Cup top assister, and he won the World Cup MVP. It's the World Cup year.
Yep.
I mean, I'm gonna do my take in a little bit. This is what Mbappe won. Mbappe won the Ligue 1. He won the Nations League with Benzema with France. He won the World Cup Golden Boot with France in the World Cup. He reached the final. He won the Nations League Golden Boot. He won the League 1 Golden Boot, and he won the League 1 Player of the Year. So if we're talking about goals, nobody scored more goals than Mbappe. Mbappe scored 77 goals in 83 games. Messi scored 45 goals in 74 games. And Benzema, he played 68 games and he scored 56 goals. So Mbappe has clearly over the other two from 20 to 30 more goals. If we're talking about assists, Benzema drops lower with 17. Messi has 34 assists, and Mbappe's at 32 assists. So he's right there. So if we go by goals and assists, Mbappe is the winner, right? But a lot of these things are taken. These are just as statistics, right? So guys, for you guys, who do you guys think is gonna win the best?
It's really tough, but I think you have to give it to Messi just because the World Cup year, like you mentioned earlier, I think weighs a little bit more than anything else. They can all either very well win it. I think it's very close to say, but I think ultimately the World Cup has more weight.
I feel like if it was
I
a year that the World Cup didn't play, I mean, it would be easily between Benzema and Mbappe because we know Messi had a rough year last year. His first year at PSG, but the second half of the year, Messi killed it in the French league and he killed the World Cup. 7 goals and 5 assists is unbelievable for the World Cup. So I also feel like Messi is gonna win it, not because he had a better year overall than Benzema maybe, who had a great prime and he did amazing from January to June, but the Benzema we seen from August to December, even that problem in the World Cup, where he left because of a little injury and then he quit then he quit the national team because he got in trouble with the coach and all that. Yeah, it doesn't leave a good end of the year taste for Benzema. So I do think that Messi is gonna take it. What do you think, Rios?
Yeah, I agree actually with both of you guys. You guys made really good points. Like Guti said, nothing I think weighs more than a World Cup, especially with Messi's performance. The only thing was I would say that would hold Messi back was last year's season, but like you said, his second half of the season was great. Um, Benzema with the Ballon d'Or, I just don't think that weighs more than the World Cup. So I think Messi overall. If it wasn't a World Cup year, like you said, it'd have been I think Mbappe. Oh no, wait, out of Mbappe and Benzema.
I
So,
agree.
but Messi, I think Messi has a slight edge on both of them.
Cool, cool, cool.
Yep.
So we're gonna pick our World 11. I asked you guys to pick your World 11 to see how different our soccer likes are.
I have a question on that though. Like, it
What's
doesn't
up?
matter what does it like. Can it be any formation,
So they
or is
picked
there?
FIFA picked 4-3-3.
Oh, damn. Okay, yeah, perfect. All
Okay,
right, go
cool,
ahead.
cool. Guti, you wanna go first with
Uh,
your lineup? Like, who do you think is gonna win each position?
Yeah, I can go ahead and go first with my 11. In goal, I got Courtois.
Okay.
I got a back line of four, so I got Cancelo, I got Van Dijk, I got Thiago Silva. I think he's gonna be the underrated one that gets chosen, and Theo Hernandez, left back.
Okay. Who you got in your mid?
oh,
I got Casemiro, De Bruyne, and Valverde in the midfield. And then
Okay.
up top, I got Messi, Mbappe, and Benzema. I think that's gonna be the
Guti, you almost
undisputed
did you copy
position.
me, bro?
I think he's messing with us.
No, that's what I got. And I
Hold
think
on,
Guti, you really picked that?
you
yes,
really left Modric out?
I did.
Come, come on, Guti.
It was between Modric and Valverde, but I think ultimately
Did
Valverde.
you see Valverde's World Cup? He was terrible.
Hey,
Hold on, guys. I'm literally on 1%. So if I get kicked out, let me just name my 11
Go,
real
go,
quick.
go with your
So
11.
it's
Go.
okay. Courtois as goalie, Cancelo as left back, Van Dijk and Silva as my center backs, Hakimi as my right back, Casemiro as my six, De Bruyne and Modric as my attacking mids, Messi, Mbappe, and Benzema up top.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's gonna be the undisputed top for sure. Like, there's no, I mean,
yeah.
Haaland could probably sneak in there, but I think ultimately, it's gonna be at the top. Mbappe,
Guys,
Benzema, and Messi for
I'm gonna
sure.
say I'm gonna say my 11. because you guys are putting Courtois. Oh, Rios is gone.
Yeah, he gave it just he had the perfect timing.
Maybe he can go back. Maybe he can go back on his phone. Let me
Yeah,
see. Can
probably.
you do? Let me shoot him a quick text message. All right, cool. Guti, while we wait to see if Rios can come back in, right? You really think that Courtois had a better Champions League than Dibu's World Cup?
It's that was kind of torn between that because like I said earlier, the World Cup weighs more than anything else. So it was tough, but I think ultimately Courtois edges out Dibu by the very slightest and gets into
Hmm.
the team. Very slight. I see it very tight from those two. I don't think Alisson, excuse me, is gonna maybe get like what 4%, 5% of the votes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
it.
think Alisson. I mean, he
Um,
did have a good Champions League. They did make it to the final of the Champions League, but we're gonna say it like we say it. He choked in the final. Like they barely Madrid barely shot at Alisson, and they scored a that tap in that you said by Beanie at the beginning of the show. So all right, so I'm gonna go with my 11. Honestly, I think Dibu's World Cup, being so important in both penalty shootouts, right? And then we have Dibu's, his save against the Australian forward, like in the last minute of the game. That save against Colo in the final, like the last minute, like
yeah, that was a
you
crazy
know,
save. That basically kind of just kept them alive to win it because
of course, dude,
every
last
I
minute
think even
of
you
extra
thought that was
time.
in. I'm pretty sure even you thought that was
Of
in when you
course,
saw it coming. I was
absolutely,
like, "There's no way he misses that, right?" But
absolutely,
that was a
absolutely.
great. That was probably one of the. That's probably like that Casillas against Robin save from 2010 kind of impact.
They are saying that this
So
Dibu save was better than the one in Casillas because Casillas had more time.
I mean,
I
it doesn't
don't,
matter. It
I
doesn't
don't
matter how much
disagree.
time they had, but it's like, how do
I,
you miss that? That one's a
I,
little bit more. You can kind of understand how Colo missed. But like, there's no explanation from when Robin did it. He had
yeah,
all the time in the world to pick his spot and still, but
for sure.
ultimately, I think like you just said, Dibu kind of makes a case just for those few games because he was great throughout the World Cup for them. But
Yeah,
just
for
in those
sure.
few decisive games, for sure, he definitely one of the biggest reasons why they won it. So it'll be
Yeah.
it'll
And
be
then
really tight, like I said, for sure.
PSG scored, if I'm not mistaken, 3 goals against Courtois in the round of 16.
Yep.
Chelsea scored 4 goals against Courtois, if I'm not mistaken. And then Man City scored 4 goals as well, if I'm not mistaken again, or five goals against. Yeah, it was 5 goals because Madrid won 3-1, correct, against Man City,
Yes.
and they
Yep.
won 4-3 in Manchester, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep.
So we're talking about 5-9. We're talking about 10 goals in 3 games, and then obviously Thibaut Courtois had that amazing final against Liverpool, right? But
He did, and he played great throughout the whole La Liga season too.
of
So
course, of course.
I'm trying to weigh in everything. So
Yeah,
like,
if no, it's tough. Obviously, it's tough. We're picking the best goal, but like you said, like you were the first one to say it, in today's show that it's a World Cup year, you know. So I do think Debo is. I think Debo Martinez is gonna take it over
so
Thibaut.
that's your keeper.
That's my keeper. My keeper is
Okay.
Debo Martinez, just because how important he was at the World Cup in World Cup year, right? If it was a regular year, we know that Debo, he could be like top 20. But like at the World Cup, like he was the best keeper in the well, respecting Bono, of course, but we know how far he got, to semifinals. In the right back, I got Hakimi, and then my two center backs are Van Dijk and Guardiol. Van Dijk had a
Yep.
great season with
He did.
Liverpool,
He
and
did.
then I had Guardiol, who had a great, World Cup. And then on the left, Theo Hernandez. We know how important he was for Milan's
Yes.
Scudetto,
He
and he
is.
had a great World Cup. He came in for his injured brother in the first game, and he did an amazing World Cup. Even scoring, he opened the semifinal against Morocco, right? So,
Yep.
and then in the midfield, I'm gonna go with Casemiro, who had a great, Casemiro had a great Champions League. He also had a great La Liga. He was very important. Then he left. he left to Manchester United, who and he has been really important for Manchester United. Casemiro's World Cup wasn't fantastic, but I don't think that it's gonna weigh that much based on his position. So I pick Casemiro, and then I'm gonna pick Modric because he had an amazing World Cup, won the Champions League, won La Liga, and next to Modric, I'm gonna put Enzo Fernandez on top of Kevin De Bruyne, just because of his World Cup. Like what Enzo Fernandez did with Benfica before the World Cup was amazing. Won a spot in the Argentinian national team, came in as a sub, for Argentina, and and he became the U21 best player of the tournament, if I'm not mistaken. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna put Enzo Fernandez. Kevin De Bruyne's World Cup was tragic.
Yeah, the whole team was definitely
Yeah,
has never lived up to expectation
we,
there.
we
So
didn't we didn't even mention that talking about Courtois. Courtois' World Cup was a shame too.
yeah,
You
there are
know,
disappointments all around for Belgium. So
for sure. And then the three on top. I mean, it was pretty. I think we all got that pretty straight. Which are the three finalists of these trophies of the FIFA the best. We have Kylian Mbappe, Karim Benzema, and Lionel Messi as the three up top. I think those were the only ones that we got on for sure.
yeah,
We
that's
kind of knew.
undisputed picks. There's no way that anyone misses.
Yeah. I
That,
mean,
that
I would understand if Haaland gets there because his last 6 months have
that's what
been
yeah, that's what
great.
I said. Yeah,
You know,
he's been on a
Lewan,
tear.
Lewandowski did great in Bayern Munich, top scorer of the Bundesliga and all that good stuff.
But
I feel that if Neymar has his day, Neymar is unbelievable. But Guti, it didn't surprise you to see Ronaldo there, Cristiano?
yeah, there was I'm a big fan, but you kind of were surprised to see him in the even nominated
Yeah,
um
I feel
in there.
that not seeing Beanie and
I know
seeing
that. Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Vini would
no,
definitely have. I would have put Vini instead of him for sure, but I'm pretty sure there's a few other players too that we can probably think of that
of course. It
would have
did
been
it did
nominated.
surprise me. It did surprise me to see both Gavi and Pedri there. To be honest with you, I was surprised by a few names. I was surprised about Ronaldo. I was surprised about Gavi and Pedri, both of them being there. One of them is okay, but both of them, I
Yeah, I
mean,
would
we
have
know,
expected Pedri for sure.
but I do think that Gavi's season was great too, though.
Yeah,
I feel
his
that Gavi's season was, dude. I mean, he just
Jude kind
turned.
of
He
surprised me too.
really belly. I feel like he did
Yeah,
good. I feel like
he
he did
did,
good.
but it's
And
kind of
then in the
shocking to see.
defense, I was pretty shocked to see Thiago Silva there. I
No,
don't know. I don't know.
I think he's been great. A lot of people kind of doubted him just because
Yeah,
of his age, but I think he's been Chelsea's constant, even through this time of like they're going through a nightmare right now. But I think Thiago Silva is a constant. So he had a great, year and 4 months for sure.
for sure, for
I
sure. All
think
right,
he'll make
so
it.
we're gonna see. We're gonna see who wins. We're gonna see who wins. We wanted to do 30 to 45 minutes in our first show. We went a little overboard. I hope our new fans don't get upset. Guti, we also have Frankfurt against Napoli tomorrow. I'm 100% for Napoli. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I think they are the for sure favorite on that one.
And do you see any surprises in the Inter Porto or Leipzig Manchester City? Do you see anything that could happen there?
I think Leipzig can give Man City a run for their. I can see them pulling off a draw at home. That's the only thing I think I would say. I don't think Porto is gonna beat Inter, in Milan. So I think if there is any upsets, it could be Leipzig.
Oh, that
Given
would
Man City's
be
track record, they can kind of give up some
that would be
scoring.
crazy though. That would, to me, if Guardiola's team doesn't beat Leipzig, like, I think it's Guardiola's time to step aside. I think this is it. I think this is it for Pep. I think this is the year. If
Yeah,
you
it
don't
has
win,
to be.
like
It
you
has
didn't
to
win
be.
last year against a Madrid that wasn't a favorite, where you were up like 80%, like 90% of the series, and you got eliminated by a great Benzema and a great Beanie. But you gotta beat Leipzig. You have to beat Leipzig.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I think they'll ultimately beat them, but I think Leipzig can pull off a draw at home there, and then of course in the second leg is a little bit more easier, manageable for for Man City, but I think we both agree on Inter tomorrow.
Cool. All right, Guti. We're done with our first show. You know, sadly Rios isn't here. He just sent a message saying that he wishes everybody a good day and thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Sorry. Guti, man, thank you for being here. You know, our
No,
first
thank
show.
you.
Our first show. Hopefully, you know, a lot more to come. We'll see each other. We're gonna see each other again. You know, same place. Hopefully, you know, if God allows it. You know, we're here
Yes, sir.
on Thursday. Hopefully, we'll see. We'll talk about, you know, what happened in the Champions League, what happened in the Europa League with Barcelona against Man United, which feels more of a Champions League match, right? You know.
It does. It does. And that, I mean, that's what they have us accustomed to. So it'll be good to see that matchup. Hopefully
For
next
sure.
year or something. But
Yeah,
it
I
was
think
good.
I think they'll both be back to, you know, they'll be both be back to Champions League football next, you know, next season. All right, Guti, man, thank you so much, and
Yep.
thank you
Thank you
for
for having me.
everybody. Thank you for everybody stopping
Yes.
by.
Thank you all.
You know, the golden shoe. All right, guys, thank you so much. See you guys later.
Y'all have a good night.